It's time for a cup of coffee with Will and Chris at Slumberland Furniture. From Slumberland Furniture in Osage Beach, here are your hosts, William Holtz and Chris Schneider.
It's Wild Will and Uncle Chris right here at Slumberland at the Lake for another cup of coffee this week. And Uncle Chris, it's Shootout week. Are you ready?
Oh yeah, here we go, baby. Been waiting for this for a year.
And we're excited about the mini shootout. We'll tell you about the Top Gun winner from over the weekend. We'll get you ready for all of the events this weekend. Lake TV, home of the shootout. You can catch the live races and a whole lot more. We'll tell you about that plus two guests this week. We're going to talk with Mayor of Osage Beach, Michael Harmison. You've seen some of the uncertainty, the outlet mall. We've been right here following that the last 3 months. And another update as Lake Expo reports the deal is dead. Mayor Harmison cries fake news. Lake Expo and Nathan Bechtel reply. Really the question I have, what does that mean for the outlet mall redevelopment? Is it going to come to fruition? So we're going to have Michael Harmison, the mayor of Osage Beach, on. I'll talk with him. And Chris, you get to talk with Richard Ross on behalf of a pretty cool annual event coming back this year. What is it?
The Wing Fest, baby. Lake of the Ozarks Wing Fest. Oh, man, that's going to be greatness.
Hey, and make sure we get Andrew the date because he also loves wings.
There might not be any wings left if we invite Andrew.
Well, Uncle Chris and Wild Will are going to be tasting the lake that night to get in on the fun at Wing Fest. So Uncle Chris and Richard Ross will tell you all about that. We've got your hometown hero presented by Central Ozarks Medical Center and a big weekend in sports. One more weekend of preseason football. And on next week's show, Chris, we're going to start our weekly picks. You ready?
I'm the defending champion.
Oh, I knew you'd say that.
The defending champion right here, baby.
They knew you'd say that because you've said it every week the last 83 weeks.
I might not win again, so I got to get it in while I can.
So we return. We're going to be here with Mayor Michael Harmison, City of Osage Beach Mayor. But first, this message from our friends right here at Slumberland at the Lake.
Hey everybody, Daryl Cunningham, General Manager at Slumberland Furniture at the Lake. We're looking for full-time dedicated employees to fill a service manager position, also a warehouse position, and a delivery driver position. If you're interested, you can contact me by stopping by the store, giving us a call, or emailing me. We offer competitive pay, benefits, and we're also offering a sign-on bonus. Come see us and join our team at Slumberland Furniture at the Lake, where we're bringing happy home.
So make sure you stop by and see the folks here at Slumberland at the Lake. I'm here with my good friend Mayor Michael Harmison, the mayor of Osage Beach. And better hurry because Mayor Harmison talked about buying this map as he leaves today.
I'm thinking I might.
So good chance it won't be here by the time you come tomorrow or this week. So I've got, as I said, Mayor Michael Harmison and Mayor Harmison, I'm thankful you took the time to join us. I mean, over the last few weeks since we talked last on What's Burning a few weeks ago, it looked like talks with the outlet mall and Horizon development we're going to pick back up with the city of Osage Beach. But since that time, I mean, just to give a few, the financial advisors, Legacy said no way, that both parties said they were going to talk again. Now Lake Expo comes out with a report that says deal is as good as dead. You cry fake news, they reply. I mean, so how do we unpackage all of this? And with that meeting last Thursday, what's the status of the outlet mall and how realistic is it this comes to fruition as far as a redevelopment?
All right. Well, hey, thanks for having me on, William.
Absolutely.
Always a pleasure. And yes, I'll probably buy that before I leave. But no, just so the public is clear, the City of Osage Beach, myself, the alderman, the city attorney, we all want that mall to be redeveloped. And when I say mall redeveloped, we're not talking about a brand new mall because as we know, malls, as you know, are kind of dead with Amazon and online ordering. However, there's some malls that do not offer online. They're big box stores. So the whole concept is not dead at all. It will be redeveloped. They're talking about bringing some of the stores in the back, bringing towards the front, and then more family-oriented things at the back. I mean, some of the things kicked around were a Ferris wheel. People keep talking about pickleball, family-oriented things. It's going to happen. To answer your question with the legacy development and the current thing, they canceled the contract. I accepted it. There was a balance of $6,000 some that they needed to pay to finish the deal. They did that. So them buying it based on the first funding agreement is over. I met with Dan Foster July 7th. He did tell me he wanted to start up again. I said, that's great. And since then, we heard nothing. And I was very surprised because he did share with me when their contract to buy extension date ended. He asked me not to share what that date was with anyone, which I haven't, but I do know that time's ticking away. I was surprised we hadn't heard anything, and I was really surprised when Lake Expo came out with their magazine article the other day that said basically everybody's waiting on the city's bad, and the city's killing this deal. And it's just the opposite. It was over, we were waiting to start again, and we heard nothing until that article came out.
Yeah.
So to answer your question, right now there's no deal on the table, but contrary to what you were told at the Alderman's meeting, and I encourage everybody, go to the city of Osage Beach. All of the Alderman meeting are live, they're recorded. If you go to the last one, about the first 10 minutes, you'll hear several people get up in defense of the mall, which we all agree. And then about 30 minutes in, I go into a tirade. I hadn't even planned on going on the tirade, but I was just at the point each week on my personal page, on the Facebook page, at the Alderman's meetings, I've made it clear what's going on. And for some reason, it's still not getting out there. So I went on a tirade and just kind of kept going. Watched it 2 or 3 times since, and I went on for about 10 minutes trying to address everything. But it was said at that meeting that no other developer had contacted the realtor. Not true. There are developers waiting. There are developers that want to assist. I was talking this morning with the Gina, city administrator. I said, if nothing happens, what if the city buys it? And I said, I'm actually reaching out personally to Simon, who owns it, because I want to know, we keep hearing third party, and I'm going to pick up the phone and call somebody. Yeah. And so I'm going to call and find out what the deal is. If that contract is done, then I'm going to reach out to the other developers, or, again, I'd like to think outside the box.
So you're saying that the city of Osage Beach buying the outlet mall is not off the table?
We just talked about it this morning. Again, I'm a business guy, right? I'm not a politician. So that's the conversation I had with the city administrator today. I said, if the developers can't, why can't we buy it? I said, well, something to consider. So I don't want to start something. Right. It was a conversation we had. I said, we will get that mall developed. Each week people keep coming out and say, city, don't kill this deal. We need our jobs. We agree on it's not going to be killed.
Mayor Harmison, can you touch on when people outside that, and like myself, that this TIF and these bonds and the redevelopment agreement is just so convoluted, and there's so many I's to dot and T's to cross, it could be tough to kind of understand. But there's concern on behalf of the city that with the way the TIF agreement was and legacy development involved, there was some concern based on some other projects Legacy was involved in where you felt like extra diligence might be needed.
Correct. And not just that, this is the first TIF request where at the city of Osage Beach history where they wanted upfront pre-construction bonds, meaning they wanted several $1,000,000 for us to give them. They could literally use that money that we give them to buy the property. Everything else has been pay as you go. They pay to buy the property, they pay to start it, and then there's certain things that qualify for some of the TIF money, and then we pay them back over time. So due diligence was, in fact, it was interesting enough this weekend, and I'm a big boy, I can take it, but I had some criticism on Facebook from 2 different people locally, business people, one was business, one anyway, that criticized me, criticized the city for not being very business savvy, don't understand business. One of those 2 has lost 3 businesses, has been bankrupt, has lost everything. And I'm thinking, had some of these people done the due diligence to check out who they entrust their money to, maybe they wouldn't be out of business. Right. That's all the city's trying to do. If somebody wants to invest, anybody can go buy that and develop it if they have their own money, their own bank. But if they're wanting millions of dollars city assistance, the city expects us to do our due diligence to make sure that they're a good risk for the city's money.
Yeah, and that brings me to last Thursday. You guys had that, I wouldn't say emergency, but that call to action, that meeting. It was a public hearing. The city of Alderman was there. Yourself was there. And that was in regards to strengthening or tightening the requirements listed in the TIF agreement. What came out of that meeting Thursday?
And not even that so much, William. It was one of the aldermen. He's been a long-standing alderman. He reads the fine print. He likes stuff in print, and I'm not criticizing. He just liked to have cut and dry. He wanted to make the TIF policies generalized for everyone. Now, just so you understand, cities do not have to give a TIF. Cities have to follow a certain period of time, but the city of Osage Beach chose to do a TIF. So it's a policy, it's not a law. All he wanted to do was take a look at the policy, let's see if it's right or wrong, and he threw out what his thoughts were the very first discussion. And yes, it did come across as very strict based on, so we decided as a group, and I suggested to them, let's table this, let's kill this deal, and we are going to have a talk to, again, the city administrator. By the end of this week, we'll have a date. We're going to open session, we'll, as long as it takes. This community be involved, it'll be filmed, open meeting, but much to important thing to do in a 45 hour and a half alderman's meeting. And so it was never the intent to make it stricter for nobody. We want people to come here and build. But just to be clear, if there's a checklist, just because they check off the checklist does not mean they get the TIF.
Yeah.
That means the process will move forward, and then the financial experts will take a look at it and will come up with a workable, fair redevelopment agreement for payment.
Can we, to end this and kind of give a final thought, let's break it down to layman's terms. Let's say that the city of Osage Beach, the Board of Aldermen, allowed this to go through on the terms it was. What is the greatest fear or the biggest risk that we could be in as a city in 5 years, 10 years, should this project go belly up? What would that mean for the taxpayers? What would that mean for the city of Osage Beach? Just to kind of express and explain some of your guys' diligence and concern. It's not trying to prevent this from coming to fruition. It's making sure you can prevent something bad. What would that something bad look like in 10 years?
If something bad, worst case scenario, and again, I don't want to mean this project, but if the city gave a developer $25 million in pre-construction bonds, they give them the money, and then for whatever reason, they don't start the project. And the city tries to get that money back. They've already taken it and ran. Argument has been that, well, it's not on the city, it's on the bondholders. A lot of times that is true. However, if a city goes to get bonds too many times and you default on paying those bonds, then it's a red flag, just like on a credit risk. So to answer your question, you give them $25 million, they're tough to keep them. If they want to walk away, they can walk away. That's why pay-as-you-go is a much better option. You find out what they can qualify for. You've got $24, $64 million, whatever, but they have to list. It's got to be things that we can't simply go in and say, all right, we're going to pay for a brand new room or a brand new, it has to be things. For instance, if you built a brand new building, you have to put in all the tubing, all the pipe work, all the plumbing. An existing place that's already there, they're going to go ahead and help with certain funds, the parking lot, the plumbing, the suit, all that sort of stuff. So difference is pre-construction bonds, they get the money. It's tough to get them from walking away.
That's right. All right, so that's what we're trying to prevent from happening. But you're confident that the outlet mall will be redeveloped. Give me I know you don't have a crystal ball, you can't tell for sure, but how soon do you think something will definitely move forward as far as the outlet mall being redeveloped?
It will be redeveloped, I can promise you that. And it will be. To answer your question, I don't have a crystal ball, but it's tough to say, but I would say within months. We need to first find out what they're going to do on this one, because right now my understanding is, and I've got to call into Simon who owns the property, because I want to hear directly from them.
Yeah.
But our understanding that the current contract is now done. So my question is it open for somebody else to buy now? I want to find out. So, but right now we need to wait. What, if they're going to do anything or not? If they don't, then we can move forward. And once they say they're done, then I'm talking quick.
Well, we will make sure that we have Mayor Michael Harmison back on here on Cup of Coffee, because we're going to want to keep you guys updated as the city, as the voters, and as the taxpayers. So, Mayor Harmison, we thank you for your time.
Thank you so much.
Keep up the great work, man, and we'll look forward to catching up with you soon. We'll be back with the rest of Cup of Coffee after this.
It's season number 10 of high school football on Lake TV. COMC brings you great games between local rivals. Friday nights this fall, pregame starts at 6:30, kickoff at 7. September 2nd, it's Warsaw and Versailles. September 9th, Eldon home against the Tigers. On the 16th, Osage entertains Eldon. September 23rd, California is home to Osage, and we close out September with Camdenton at home against Bolivar. High school football on Lake TV, brought to you by COMC.
All right, we welcome you back. That's right. You saw our interview with Michael Harmison, the mayor of the city of Osage Beach.
That was great.
Interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, getting filled in on all the stuff that's going on. He's 100% sure, you heard him talking about it, they're going to get that mall redeveloped. Just depends on which developer it is.
And man, he really is an outside the box thinker. One of the things I was surprised, he said, he was asking city administrator Gina Woods, well, heck, I mean, if this development contract or this purchase contract expires, what prevents the city of Osage Beach from buying the mall?
Yeah,
I mean, where's that money going to come from? I mean, heck, they could issue themselves a TIF.
Yeah,
I mean,
something like that, maybe. Absolutely.
Be interesting, but so that's Osage Beach Mayor Michael Harmison. We thank him for joining us and giving us some time. Now we look ahead to the mini shootout next year. Is going to be the 14th annual shootout, and I'm telling you right now, even though it's still about 360 days away, we're going to see a new record set at next year's mini shootout. I thought it was going to happen this weekend, but a couple of the boats that were there blew a motor and didn't get to run. And for the second year in a row, Captain Kirk Dorsey is your Top Gun winner. He replicated last year's Top Gun speed of 103, which he won last year, but he shared last year, and this year he's all by himself with 103. So for the second consecutive year, Captain Kirk Dorsey hits a speed of 103 miles per hour. And I mean, it's intense. Chris, you've seen these little guys go.
Can we call him Captain Kirk?
Yeah, Captain Kirk.
There you go.
That's probably why he goes by that, Captain Kirk Dorsey, Captain Kirk.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I've seen those things. They're very cool. They're not cheap. I mean, those people put a lot of money into that, those small boats. Greatness. It's a great event for the Shootout.
Cheap in comparison to the real boys,
well,
though.
That's true.
Tell you that.
Absolutely.
Not quite as big of a deal if you blow a motherboard, or you blow an engine or whatever, you break a prop. It's not as big of a deal, $300 to $500 a piece in one of those parts, than heaven forbid you blow something in your Super Cat the day before the shootout. That's going to cost you.
Yeah.
But really cool event. A lot of money was raised. I went down to the meet and greet Friday out at Bridal Cave with the girls and got to see everybody. And then, of course, this weekend, 2 great days of racing down there. And the cool thing is, it's right there at the Springs at Hahatonka.
Yeah.
So if you missed this year's mini shootout, make sure you make plans for it next year. And of course, this week is just nothing but Lake of the Ozarks Shootout. Of course, Tuesday night was the Hall of Fame dinner. Wednesday was the street party. You've got all kinds of great stuff this weekend. And the big thing is, the races can be seen live on Lake TV from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. both Saturday and Sunday.
Yep.
All Lake TV platforms, so make sure you get ready for that. And actually, as much as I can tell you, let's get a little sneak peek at this year's shootout.
The Lake of the Ozarks Shootout on August 27th and 28th at Captain Ron's. The largest non-sanctioned boating event of the year takes over the Lake of the Ozarks once again. Who will win this year's coveted Top Gun? Watch while more than 100 boats compete for best in class. The shootout raised over $400,000 for local charities last year. Catch boats hitting speeds up to 195 miles per hour. Celebrate the 34th annual Lake of the Ozarks Shootout, powered by Performance Boat Center.
And welcome back to A Cup of Coffee with Will and Chris. Of course, we're here at Slumberland Furniture, and you're going, who's this good-looking dude next to Chris? All right, well, this is Richard Ross. How you doing?
Good to be here.
Now, Richard is a busy guy. He's retired, but you're an alderman for Osage Beach, and you're a big part of the Ozarks Wing Fest, right?
Yes, with Lake Ozark Rotary and a lot of other folks, but they just sent me up here to get on the TV.
Well, that's because you got a face for television.
I don't know about that.
There you go.
I heard it was radio myself.
Yeah, I've been told that my whole life. Face for radio and voice for television.
There you go.
Okay, so Lake of the Ozarks Wing Fest, right? It's coming up.
Yes.
So anybody who likes wings, this is like the place to be, because you've got like all of the great restaurants, local restaurants that do wings, are going to bring their wings to Wing Fest, so people can eat as many wings as they want. There's going to be free drinks there.
For the first one ticket, you get one drink.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Wow, how about that? You can't beat that. Okay, so first of all, when is Wing Fest 2022?
It's Wednesday night, September 14th. It's right as the Bike Fest week is beginning, and we're going to have it over at the Regalia Hotel. If the weather cooperates, we're going to have it outside around the pool area, their pool and stage area, so we think that's exciting. We've never done it outside. Well, it's been a long, long time. I think it might have been done years and years ago, but we want to do it out there. If not, though, if the weather doesn't cooperate, we've got the indoor convention area for the Regalia that we had it last time in 2019 that we had it. So as a backup. So it's going to be at the Regalia from 5 to 7.
5 to 7, that's a Wednesday night, September 14th. And just to give you an idea of some of the folks bringing wings, Frankie and Louie's, Papo's, Wobbly Boots, Redhead, Wicked Willie's, Paradise, Tucker Shuckers, and more.
Many more.
All bringing their wings, and you can have as many of these as you want, right?
Absolutely, it's all you can eat.
Okay, now, so the proceeds of this go to local charities.
Yes, between the Lake Ozark Rotary, we partnered with Central Bank. There's been a long-standing relationship to put the Wing Fest on. Once upon a time, it was called the Wing Ding, but it's now the Wing Fest. And between the Lake Ozark Rotary charities, and then the Central Bank usually donates their portion to the Community Foundation. So all the charities, all the proceeds go to local charities. And we can't thank the restaurants enough, because the time, labor, and cost of this really it wouldn't be, we couldn't do anything without it with the restaurants. Those guys are really, it's what this is all about.
Okay, and there is a cost to go to this. I think if you get your tickets early, they're $15.
They're $15 early, $20 a day of the show.
Okay.
And you can get tickets at any Central Bank location. They have them at all the locations now, and they're out there now.
And the proceeds of that from your tickets go to local charities.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. So it stays local.
And now you haven't been able to do this in a few years, right? Your last one was 2019?
2019, we had a great one. It was the best one ever, I think, over at the Regalia. We packed that place.
Yeah.
And then COVID hit. And between COVID and all the concerns with that in 2020, as well as some lingering COVID and then prices of wings and just the way everything had changed at the lake, the restaurants were pretty tired in 2020 also. Yeah. We just couldn't put it together, but we're back. And I think it's one of the neatest local events here at the Lake of the Ozarks.
Yeah, it's greatness.
And at the end of the day, we're excited about getting it back. Hopefully with the time of year, the weather may be perfect, we can do it outside and we'll make it even bigger and better than it's ever been before.
Absolutely. You know, and I mean, for those of us who love wings, in the last couple of years, the prices of wings have been crazy. Yes. So some of us haven't been able to eat as many wings as we want. Here you get your chance to fill up on wings, baby.
You can fill up on wings and some great wings, because these restaurants, there's some bragging rights here. And they bring some good stuff. They bring their best, they bring their A game to the Wing Fest.
And Frankie and Louie's is the defending champion.
They are.
Wow, Frankie and Louie's, baby. Okay, so again, this is Wednesday, September 14th from 5 to 7 at the Regalia. If the weather's good, you're going to be out by the pool.
Yes.
If it's stormy, you'll go inside.
We're inside the convention center.
It'll be great. You can get more information at Wingfest LOTO.
Yes.
And that's on Facebook.
On Facebook.
Right. And again, thanks to Central Bank and all of the people helping out with this. And are you looking forward to this or are you dreading this?
No, we're not dreading this by any means. We've been kind of laying in wait for 2 years wanting to do this again, because we got fired up the last time, because when we packed the Regalia the last time, we knew we had something right.
Yeah.
And we were ready to do it again. And then, of course, you know, COVID changed everything.
There you go.
As everybody says.
Okay, he's Richard Ross. It's Wingfest, Lake of the Ozarks Wingfest, coming up fast, September 14th. So be looking for that. Richard, thank you, brother.
Thanks for the time. Look forward to seeing you out there.
You betcha. We'll be back with more Cup of Coffee with Will and Chris right after this.
Hey everyone, it's Wild Will.
And I'm Uncle Chris from Slumberland Furniture.
Hey, hopefully you've seen our new Hometown Heroes segment presented by Central Ozarks Medical Center.
You know, we highlight a new hometown hero on Cup of Coffee every week.
You know, people that make a difference right here at Lake of the Ozarks.
Maybe you know someone who is selfless, serves others, and deserves to be recognized.
If so, we invite you to nominate them to be our next Hometown Hero.
So all you got to do is go to our website, click on Contact, and select Nominate a Hometown Hero, and send in why this person deserves to be recognized.
Do that and maybe your nomination will be our very next Hometown Heroes right here on Lake TV.
Yeah, for Lake TV, I'm Uncle Chris.
And I'm Wild Will. We look forward to seeing those nominations. That's right, nominate your selection for Hometown Heroes presented by Central Ozarks Medical Center. And of course, that's going to bring us right into our favorite segment of the week, this week's Central Ozarks Medical Center Hometown Hero. And it's our good friend Cherie Keeley with the CADV, their executive director. We actually had her on the show last week.
Just last week,
She was slated to be the Hometown Hero last week. Then it ended up that we had an interview with her, so we can't name her the Hometown Hero when she's in here promoting her brunch. But Cherie Keeley, one of the best out there, wouldn't you say?
Oh, yeah, she really is. So I'm in a meeting with Cherie every week, and she is just such a sweetheart. But, you know, there are some jobs, because it's a job for her, and it's a hard job, because what she sees every week with domestic violence would bring anybody down. And somehow she's able to stay up. She's positive all the time. She saves lives every week. It's amazing.
And you wouldn't believe how much her staff loves her.
Yeah.
You know, when I reached out to the girls at CADV, they were so excited to help put this together. They said Cherie Keeley is one of the most deserving individuals. She started with the CADV back in 2017, and the growth of the CADV has been incredible. The list they gave me of things they've done since she took over in 2017 was a mile long, but just a couple of them. Created a management structure to support the advocate team and allow CADV to serve more victims and their families. She opened outreach offices in Versailles and Eldon. She grows the annual brunch, which has become massive, and it's really the biggest fundraiser of the year is the CADV annual brunch. We always loves that. And she invites survivors to tell their stories through an annual documentary we work with them on. And that's been a very powerful process for the victims to openly get to talk about this. All these are ideas from Cherie. She's worked on getting additional funding. She's worked on getting funding to grow the facility so they can serve more people. She secured funding to create emergency housing program that add women's beds as well as male suite to serve male victims. So those list goes on and on and on. But personally, she's really involved with 9th Street Christian Church. She launched a partnership with them. She's big about continued education for her whole staff. And she's got a crazy resume. Before coming to the CADV, she worked in large integrated health system and held various positions. The last one was the vice president of the behavioral service line. She was appointed by the governor of Nebraska to the foster care review committee. She served as the secretary on the SART board, serves as the secretary of the Gateway Industries board, and a couple other accomplishments is working to develop diversity in the CADV board of directors so that the board is more representative of the communities they actually serve. She's big into her family. Her sister Stacy, her son is Josh. She's married to Katie. She's got 2 grandkids, Landon and Grace, who she adores. If you're Facebook friends with her, you'll see their picture all the time. And her nieces, Keely and Faith, she loves as well. She likes to boat, and she really likes fast boats. And she loves being on the water, gardening, and, of course, spending time with her family. Something that I found out that a lot of people don't know. She actually competed competitively in baton twirling in high school.
Wow.
You see Cherie out there twirling a baton?
I can see that.
I
Yeah.
can see it,
Absolutely.
but she is a godsend, and I will tell you, such a giver. Her staff loves her. She gets to deal hands-on with so many victims and unfortunate situations surrounding or around domestic violence and abuse, and she's just done nothing short of a miracle in her last 5 years with the CADV. We are so appreciative. We know the community is so appreciative. Her staff is so appreciative. And so, Cherie Keeley, our friend, you are this week's Central Ozarks Medical Center hometown hero. Thank you for your service, and thank you for all that you bring, not just to the CADV, but the Lake of the Ozarks community. We love you, my friend. Thank you so much for the girls at the CADV for helping us, especially Amy Thompson. She was really big in getting me photos and information, and that's another fitting hometown hero because Cherie is as good as it gets, man.
Absolutely. And again, if you've got a hometown hero you want to nominate, let us know, because there's a lot of folks, a lot of heroes out there we don't know about that you do, so be sure to let us know.
Absolutely. And it doesn't always have to be something where, you know, they are well known in the community. It could be a random act of kindness that no one would ever know. That's really the biblical way to give.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
no one else knows about it.
Yep.
All right, so as we move ahead to sports, you know, I'm a big Albert Pujols guy. I think he's the greatest right-hand hitter of all time.
Yeah.
See what he's been doing lately?
He's been hitting a bunch of home runs, hasn't he?
Well, the Cardinals over the last 22 are 18-4.
Wow.
Albert in his last 5 games, which they've won all 5, 9 of 15, 5 home runs and 11 RBIs. And on Sunday night, he hit Saturday, he hit home run number 691 and 692, which put him 4 back of A-Rod all time. You got Barry Bonds, Hank Aaron, and Roger Maris are the 3 above him. That's pretty good company once Pujols passes A-Rod, wouldn't you say?
Doesn't get any better than that, and he's not juicing like A-Rod was juicing in some of those guys, you know. So
I mean, almost everyone. Now, Roger Maris, of course, that was a long time ago. But, man, that's crazy to see him still doing it. It'd be cool if the Cardinals sent him, Yachty, and Waino packing with a World Series
they went into this week, the Cardinals, with a 5-game first-place lead over Milwaukee. But they had a 5-game series against the Cubs this week, too, so that'll be interesting.
Cubs been playing good ball as well.
Yeah.
So, all right, if you look at the Chiefs, boy, they won 24-14 in their second preseason game. But Mahomes, 19 pass attempts. What are you doing with him out there that long?
Yeah, you got to get him a little time, though. You're probably not going to play him Thursday night in the last preseason game against Green Bay. Have to give him a little time. He got that, looked really good. So he should be ready to go. Don't look for him to play at all.
Josh Allen attempted 3 passes in Buffalo's second preseason game. Chiefs players I'm okay with not seeing until week 1 at Arizona. Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Chris Jones, Justin Reed. Let's keep them on the sideline till that week 1. All right, obviously, Shootout. You got to go to lakeoftheozarksshootout.com. Find out all the information about mini events as well as this weekend's Lake TV coverage. Of course, George and Dorothy Peter are on the Community Spotlight show this week. The Football Coaches Show airing right now. Coach Jolly, Coach Shore, and of course high school football next weekend. For Uncle Chris, I'm Wild Will. That's going to do it for this week's Cup of Coffee.